Hello, today I would like to talk about the rich leftists. The leftists who have money. And I want to show you how their money hoarding tactics have allowed them to avoid real work for the majority of their lives. Most leftists that you've seen have managed to avoid any genuine real work. For example, the English teacher who is teaching English in a country where we speak English. The person who goes to university and majors in English and sociology and philosophy and psychology, doesn't get a real job for the past 20 years, majors in stupid shit, lives off of student loans, and then goes into education. These people have avoided all real work, have lived off of other people's money, never worked a real job. I want to give you an example of Karl Marx. Karl Marx was born in a Jewish family. They had wealth. This is what Wikipedia says about him. Karl Heinrich Marx was born on 5th of May 1818 to Heinrich Marx and Harriet Presburg. He was born at a Buchengasse 644 in Trier, a town part of Kingdom of Prussia, province of the Lower Rhine. Mark was ethnically but not religiously Jewish. His maternal grandfather was Dutch rabbi, while his paternal line had supplied tier rabbi since 1723. A role taken by his grandfather. See, he was Jewish, which means he had money, which means he had the ability and the means to sort of live off of his friend Engels. And see, he never really had any real job, and you'll see. Largely non-religious, Heinrich was a man of the Enlightenment, interested in ideas of the philosophies of Immanuel Kant and Voltaire. A classical liberal, he took part in agitation for the Constitution and reforms in Prussia, at the time being an absolute monarchy. See, his family had money. His wife, Harriet, was a Dutch Jewish woman with a prosperous family business that later founded the company Philips Electronics. His sister, Sophie Presburg, married Lion Philips. He was the grandmother of Gerard and Anton Philips, great-grandmother of Fritz Philips. Lion Philips was a wealthy Dutch tobacco manufacturer and industrialist, upon whom Karl Marx and Jenny Marx would later come to rely on loans for, while they exiled in London. Oh, what a surprise. Spending summer and autumns in Trier, Marx became serious about his studies. Didn't have a real job. He became engaged to Jenny von Westerfallen, was educated baroness to Prussian ruling caste, and had known Marx since childhood, as she broken her off an engagement with the young aristocrats to be with Marx. See, he didn't actually have a real job, he just studied. Marx arrived in Berlin, particularly at the university's Faculty of Law, renting a room in During the first term, Marx attended lectures in Edmund Gans. Okay, you see, he went from academia to random newspaper to journalism to never having a real job. He went to university, just studied, never had a real. All he contributed to society were his worthless theories, which nobody gives a fuck about. And this is what rich people do. They because they're rich, they get these phony careers in academia and writing and all this bullshit, so they don't have to get a real job. So, for example, look at the work history of these people. Have they ever has your English teacher, for example, has she ever had a real job outside of education? Because this is a really, really difficult question to ask. Has she had a job outside of education? Has she done anything? Has she taught English? Has she taught anything other than English in a country where we speak English? That is how worthless you are. You're teaching English in a country where we speak English. You are thieving people's money. You are adult babysitters. You've never had a real job. You're teaching English. In a country where we speak English, you've never had a real job in the entirety of your life.